Alright, I'm really bored of this project, not gonna lie. Like, it's bad when even I'm bored of it. But anyway, we got all this saved, right? We have 10 functioning levels with different mechanics, different gameplay elements. But now we're gonna be finished with this project, and I'm gonna show you guys some new stuff. So, new project. What's this? No. So, top down. Okay, the location checks out. Is there a problem here? No, okay. Right, we're in. Now, on this video, I'm gonna first create a small scene right here, some objects. Put some objects into our scene. And I'm gonna try to show you guys how to create an advanced AI. I'll explain better when I put down my objects. Hold on, give me a sec. Is that too big? Maybe not. So yeah, that checks out. Anyway, so we got this quad right here. Let me make this a little longer. Is 35 enough? Yeah, awesome. So this is 40, alright. I don't need these shadows, I'll get rid of them. And okay. Oh, these guys too. Actually, we could have just, instead of toggling all these, we can just receive shadows false. There, that's better. Alright, I got everything I need to try explaining my business. So in our scene right now, we have all these walls. We tried creating a corridor right here, a little corridor. There are two characters in this game, in this scene. Is this? Yeah. So this guy is the enemy object, and this is the player character. The movement logic we used for our enemy object so far has been this. Step 1 is to take the player character's position, and step 2 is to move the enemy object towards that position. So that kind of logic will create a path like this. Meaning, if we use that logic, our enemy object will have to follow a path like this, which in this scene with the corridor, it's impossible. What would end up happening is our enemy object colliding with the wall here, and then slowly scraping itself against the wall to try to follow this path right here. So in this video, we're gonna try to create a little more AI that is a little more advanced than what we used so far. We want an AI that acknowledges these walls, these obstacles, and moves alongside them. So we want our enemy movement AI or enemy movement behavior or enemy movement script, whatever you want to call it, we want it to create a path like this, moving alongside the corridor instead of trying to pass through it. In short, in this video, we're gonna try to make this happen. To do this, we need to tell our movement behavior or movement AI or movement script where our enemy object can walk and where they can't walk. Got that? I hope so. Let's move on to our editor. Alright, we're back to our editor. Now, before we do anything else, to do what we want, we need to install a package into our editor. So, where was it? Window. Package manager. There it is. I'm gonna add the package, install package from disk, from Turbo, from git URL. We're gonna click this. So we're gonna copy this right here. Close this. And install. Awesome. Now we got all this right. We got this installed. Okay. Now first, we want our enemy object to be able to walk on this ground object. To do that, naturally we want our ground object to have a collider, which it does, mesh collider. Now, in the previous project, remember how we had different managers in our project? Hold on, let me boot it up real quick. So, for example, in our levels, we have a power up manager with this power up manager script. In our main menu, we have main menu manager with main menu manager script. Now, in this new project, we're gonna do something similar. That will manage all walkable surfaces. So we're gonna, just like we did with our main menu manager and our power up manager, we're gonna first start with creating an empty object. So I'll call this walkable surface manager. Also a little typo. Now add components. Now mesh obstacle surface agents. Into our walkable surface manager, we're gonna add a component and a mesh surface component. Let's add that right here. So we got two options here, render meshes and physics colliders. I told you earlier that our ground object needs to have a collider for this to work properly. Well, from my understanding, we can still make it work without a collider, but doing this business with a collider is easier. So since our ground object has a collider, we can go to our now mesh surfaces use geometry section, and instead of render meshes, we can choose physics colliders. Now, as you can see here in our object collision collection section, parameters that define how to select objects from the scene. You can see here that while creating a walkable surface, we're gonna choose objects based on their layers. So what I mean is that we need to create and assign a layer for our ground objects, and we need to add that layer, ground layer to here, right here. Let's do that right now. Add layer, ground. Oops. Then we're gonna go here. Instead of everything, we're just gonna pick ground. I think that's all, but let me check. Also, let me close this there. Now, humanoid, walkable, trains, legs. What does the... Oh, it's about jumping. We're not gonna check this right now. We can play with this later. Use geometry, physics, ground. Alright. I think that's all the settings we need. Now, in the last part of this process, in the last part of this process, we're gonna go to our nav mesh surface and we're gonna click back. And hopefully that will set our ground object as a walkable object. So let's see if baking is gonna create any visual changes to our scene. Is that it? Did I do it? Oh wait, I didn't set this to ground. Now let's try again. Clear and bake. There we go. That's awesome. That's awesome. I like that. Alright, now the scene has recognized that our ground object is walkable. You can see that it's marked blue now. That's really cool. Alright, that's pretty cool. Now, in our walkable surface, or nav mesh surface, we also have a option right here. Instead of walkable, we can create a surface with not walkable objects. So, for example, instead of setting our ground object as a walkable object, we can just set our walls as not walkable objects. But that's not needed in this scenario, because now that we set our ground object as a walkable object, the rest of these objects are going to be counted as obstacles by default. Alright, that's pretty cool. Okay, now we need to we need to make it so our enemy object right here respects this nav mesh surface, respects this baking. Ooh. There. So to do that, we need to make use of another component. We're gonna select our enemy object. So we got a mesh renderer, box collider. We're gonna add a component, now mesh agent. We're gonna add a now mesh agent component to our enemy object. Oh, there are so many settings. Alright, let's see what settings we got right here. Steering. So we got speed, that's simple enough. But we also got an angular speed. What? Maximum turning speed in... Oh. So it's the speed, rotation speed when we are turning a corner. That's cool. Acceleration. Okay. And stopping distance. Stop within this distance from the target position. 0. Alright. Cool. Pretty much this now mesh agent component is a behavior script on its own. Basic behavior script. Now for this to work, we need to actually use this now mesh agent in a script. So we're going to create an enemy behavior script. But I'm wondering if I should create an folder for this. I think that's not. Let's just add this here instead of creating a folder for our scripts. We're gonna create a folder soon in the next videos, but not right now. It's not needed now. So add components. Enemy walking bear. Open script. Oh shit. What? Oh, we really need to add a folder. Alright. Whatever. Let's do that. So folder scripts. Actually, we didn't need a folder, but now that we have it, let's use it. More behavior, enemy walking script. Put this here. Okay. So we're gonna need two things. We're gonna need to reference our enemy's now mesh agent component in our scripts. And second, we need to get our player objects position. So we're gonna do public game objects, player character, then private now mesh agents. Actually, M agents. Mesh agents. So mesh agents equals to not get components now mesh agents. Okay. I'm gonna put this here. Now, how was it? Now mesh agents destroy immediate. Now mesh add link. How about mesh agents? So transform stop mounted assume move. I wonder if this is gonna work, because I'm not sure if this is the right function. This is the right method. Let's see. Ooh, what? What? Oh, we did something wrong. What did we do? Sensor updates. Is this it? Position. Tell me this is it. What? How? I mean, it's nice that it's moving towards the player, but what? Is this gonna do any difference? No. What? Let me try something. Balls. Not walkable. Walls. Oh, God damn it. What the hell up? Does that do anything? What am I doing wrong? Fuck off, come on. Oh, come on, man. Okay, let's set this up again. Walkable, ground, bake. Piss off. So, why can't the enemy pass through these walls? Jeez, this is more complicated than I thought. Okay, do I need to include or walls into our now mesh surface? Let me see. How about this? Oh, what? What the fuck? What the fuck is happening here? What? Is it at least still working? Oh, it is. Nice. I'm looking at ChatGPT right now. Okay, that fixed it. Okay, no flickering, no glitching. That's cool. But while looking up the issue, I did see something else. So I saw another component. So let's see. Let's go to our walls and try adding a component to them. What was it? No mesh, not obstacle modifier. Was this it? I don't think this is it. What the fuck does this do? Man, this is more complicated than I thought. Really more complicated. But okay, we're gonna get through the confusion. So we don't need this right now. we added our wall store NowMesh surface because without it, our NowMesh agent only acknowledges our ground object. So if we only bake our ground object, only the ground object is acknowledged because our wall objects are not included in the baking, in the NowMesh data. Okay, that's cool. I'm gonna continue working with this. This was my first time working with NowMesh anyway, so I'm gonna get better at it as I practice. And this was a first try, first look into working with NowMesh. Now, in the next video, we're gonna do other stuff. I don't want to say what stuff because I myself don't know. I'm gonna figure it out when I'm recording it. Also, I want to try something. Can the enemy objects walk through here? Let's see. Let me actually increase this 10. Are you gonna... No, why? 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 What happens here? There is no wall here. Why? Alright, I looked it up a little bit. Tried to look up the solution. I think I got something. So agent type, humanoids. We're gonna go to open agent settings. Let's see if this is gonna change in real time. So radius. It did not. Do I need to... Oh. That made it worse. Oh, Jesus. Jeez. Oh, that's much better. Wait, how about now? Come on. Cool. Cool. So what was the... Wait, what? This is embarrassing. How about this? I'm just trying to experiment with this radius value to see what values do what. I don't want that. What are these? What? I'm so confused. Do you still work? Okay, you still work. Wait, what? Okay, you do not work. Oh, God damn. Why are you going crazy? What the fuck did I do? Oh, it's working now, somehow. Fuck. You know, this is so confusing, but you know what? I'm not gonna ask questions. Right now, our advanced AI works. That's all that matters. If it doesn't, if it works, don't try to play with it. Just let it be. Alright, that's all for now. I need to study. I need to do. I need to Google some stuff about this when I'm done. Try to better understand this. But anyway.